March 1981?
March 1981. Moving along.
Yeah, like we parked cars.
We did.
We solved some mysteries.
It's still a mystery. That's still a mystery.
With Frank Langella. And pops up right here.
Right.
But I'm excited about this week because we're going all night long, Lionel Richie style.
Oh man, Lionel Richie, classic.
And that's all we're just watching the music video and we're gonna break it down.
Oh, I love that.
This movie, it should have everything. It was written by the guy that did Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Brubaker, Big Trouble in Little China. I mean, we're coming with, as some of those before this, I think Big Trouble in Little China is after this. But still, I mean...
You know, it should be, and it has all the pieces.
Gene Hackman, Diane Ladd, Dennis Quaid, Barbara Streisand.
Mega superstar style.
I mean, they're going in hard. There's no reason why this should not be our March movie right now.
This should be,
this is our treat.
Put these people together, should be one of the greatest movies of all time, automatically.
Automatically, I mean, this is a classic. Everyone out there is just like, oh, we've all seen this. Why are you talking about it? This is like the number one movie.
Right. This is not a gem. This is not a found gem.
Yeah, this is found.
The
gem might be something we'll have to discover.
It's all relative. Depends on what you mean by gem. I don't know.
All right, so we're going grocery shopping. I think it has something to do with the grocery shopping.
Oh, then I can't wait.
And Barbara Streisand may or may not sing. I have no idea.
I mean, don't you contract Barbara Streisand?
You kind of have to, like, the opening credits, or what do you think, opening or closing song?
Definitely, I would go closing.
All right, we're going closing time all night long, March 1981. Let's do it.
All right.
This will be more drinking reviews too.
Right.
We're starting with something new. Normally we have Campfire. We're doing Douglas Lang's Big Pete.
Big Pete.
A shovelful, as it says, right across the face. So I'm a little nervous. So first thing first, before we get to it, let's see. Oh. All right, here we go. I like it. It kind of
wow, yeah, it does have that delay of the like.
Yeah, it is. It's like burnt rubber and ash.
It definitely is all of that for sure. It's not the Campfire does have it, but it's a little more.
But why is it like it's so clear though too?
Strain it, or what do they do?
Okay.
Your insides are...
No, I mean, it literally it feels like everything is...
furnace, yeah.
All right, I probably wouldn't want to go any smokier than that. I think that's my top level.
I mean, I don't know. Any smoker that you're inhaling...
I mean, it's like I'm chewing smoky... It's like we're at the fires up north, right? And now I feel bad. It's like I'm drinking the air.
Drinking fire.
So...
all night long.
Physical media, because oddly enough, it was cheaper to buy physical than to rent. So I don't.
That's how it is.
It's a company I've actually seen, and I've been curious to buy more from. Kino Lorber.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Know them.
They just do a lot of these, and how they decided to do this movie, we'll get into it. But Screen Legends. Gene Hackman and Barbara Streisand star as the oddest couple to beat the odds in this offbeat comedy that proves a man can lose everything and still live happily ever after.
There it is, kind of.
After successful executive George Dupler is demoted to manager in a seedy all-night drugstore, he decides to totally change his life. Leaving his wife, he takes up with Cheryl, a sexy but ditzy neighbors, who already had an affair with his son, Dennis Quaid. Now his hands are full with a new wild woman by day, his weird and crazy customers at night, in this screwball romantic comedy written by W.D. Richter, Big Trouble Little China, Brubaker and Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Wow.
Doesn't say that, but I've looked it up.
Okay.
Gene Hackman, Barbara Streisand, Diane Ladd, Dennis Quaid.
Good cast. I mean, good cast. It's just, I think it's one of those narratives that is, it's just problematic. It's of the it's definitely of its time.
John's just like,
I want to bring up something, but I don't want to. Yeah, this isn't about Dear Evan Hansen, but it is. It's nothing to do with
nothing to do with Ben Platt.
Nothing to do with Ben Platt, but it's just the narrative of, we can go along with the narrative as a narrative, and we can judge it on those merits, but like at its center, there's like problematic because it's like, should I be rooting for this? I mean, he plays a guy who's cheating on his wife. His son is also with the same woman.
Yeah.
Having an affair with Barbara Streisand, who's married, but they're cousins as well. Barbara Streisand is Gene Hackman's wife's cousin.
Right.
But I don't.
Through marriage or something. Like, no one in the movie even understood how anyone was related.
It's just, so you throw in, them being related, you throw in the fact that, he's open about, hey, let's just do this. I'm married, you're married, let's just go for each other.
Yeah.
And she's obviously on board and very forward about it, too. And very ready to just,
go all night long.
Go all night long with and Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
And who knows if, it's in the story. I'm just saying the story.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this. If someone else came by, who knows what she would have done with that person. That's the way they portray this character, or she portrays this character as this sort of sex-starved wife who just has... and the men, too, have no scruples. She has no scruples. No one has any. And it's just sort of a free-for-all.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to make sense of, like, what are what's the structure here? What are the boundaries? Like, I thought marriage was a boundary. And it's played that way a little bit.
Yeah.
But then the way Gene Hackman plays it is like, everybody knows we're doing it. You and me, sure.
Let's keep going.
Banging your wife, that's right. Yeah.
It was
I don't get it.
as much as it was kind of fun to see it because everyone in it's still really good. It's a lesson in miscasting. Like, I don't think Gene Hackman was right. Either he had to go more all in the role, or not have Gene Hackman, because I think he's good. Like, good actors are always going to be good actors. There's nothing. I think Gene Hackman's good, but it just didn't click with me that he was that guy. And I kind of wish the movie was more what it was trying to be. Also felt like a man that just had done something his entire life and then loses it all. But we don't really know that he was successful. We're already starting the movie at the downslide.
Right.
It's not like he's going in for his big promotion because he'd been there 20 years and then has a mental breakdown. And then all of a sudden he's working, somehow you get demoted from corporate, then you have to work the night manager. It seems like a weird...
Yeah.
And once again, you don't have to explain everything to me. I'll roll with it. I just kind of wish it was more of his... Everything was already tumbling. Like, his marriage seemed fine. Prior to that, like, I would have liked to have seen it like everything was already turning. The minute he lost the job, he realized everything had already been wrong in his life. And then he was trying to work his way back because he hadn't even slept with Barbara Streisand at that point. He went over for soup on bread meal.
Yeah, sure. It's what you do.
They kissed, and then that was it. Got home, the son, who was mad, then he was just like, fuck it, I'm out. This marriage has been miserable. I'm miserable. I'm just moving on. And you're like, really? Because I've seen no signs of that. And you weren't like going all in on this Barbara Streisand. You know, it just...
Right.
Everything just seemed like spur of the moment. Yeah, fuck it, I'm quitting now. I'm buying a loft. Okay, I'm an inventor now. How?
Right. Yeah, and then why her? Why Barbara Streisand? Not Barbara Streisand, but why Cheryl? Why her character? I just don't know why he had to go. There are all types of problems. I mean, yes, she was very in the movie. She's very forward, and I mean, he's attractive. She's attracted to her, but it's just, I think you hit it on the head. It's like it wasn't set up enough for us to see the success or see which is easy enough to do. It's just to see the down fall of his life at the time, what was wrong at home. I couldn't for the life of me figure out what was wrong with the wife. How was it that bad at home? I mean, everything seemed fine, and everything can seem fine. We have movies that portray the same thing. Everything seems fine, but beneath the surface things are not. But we just didn't see that. And so, when he has this, midlife crisis or whatever, it's a bit of a jolt, because it's like, how are you just now not really going all in, like you said with Cheryl, but you decide, okay, we kiss. My 40-year-old son is angry that the affair he's having is being ruined by his father, and it's just like so much is going on, and he's going to move into a hotel and then a loft and be an inventor, and but trying to still go after Cheryl, which she's still very married, and he's just going to do it in the open, and there's no stakes. I mean, it's just like, what if he's just going to go over there and bulldoze the husband and say, it's just us. The way the character is that he sort of comes in and out of the husband, you feel like Gene Hackman, in his stature, he goes over and his attitude is, I don't care if you know or not, everyone knows I am with your wife. It's like Godzilla versus Bambi. It's like, I don't think the guy's going to be able to. There's no conflict there. And there wasn't any. He didn't really put up a couple things, but not really anything that gave us this conflict. Like, again, it's a romantic comedy, but nothing where
is it?
It says
look, it clearly says it's in here somewhere.
I don't know. It's just problematic. It's from the beginning, where it's like, well, she's married, you're married, this is not supposed to happen, but we're with him so much. It's like, okay, well, he's at work, he's fighting fires or whatever, we can go ahead and do this. And then this relationship develops, and it's like, but wait a minute, this is not right. And there are other people getting hurt, and I don't know. I just don't know how he made that jump from, his life to, like, I'm gonna risk it all and just be on my own inventor and go after, this man's wife, and we're just gonna. I don't care what's going to happen to him. I'm just going to take her from you.
Well, and it's just, I think too, like, just the leaps. It's like, all right, I'm going to be an inventor. You've shown us no signs that you've ever done this before, and that's okay. I mean, it's just of the time. It's like, I don't need to be spoon-fed. But when things are just coming out of left field in this movie, and it was just like, it was just so weird. And then he goes home, and then Diane Ladd is sleeping with the lawyer. And it was just, I guess, it was kind of like, see, it's okay. It was like they're trying to write, like, the excuses on why it's all okay. And then, when Barbara decides to go back to the firemen and he was like a complete dick. So then it's okay. You know, it's just kind of like these very convenient things.
Yeah, and yeah, the sort of Diane Ladd sleeping with the lawyer is an attempt to make it seem like, okay, well, everybody's screwing everybody. But, you know, just sort of thinking about it, it's like, well, the lawyer, there's all kinds of legal sort of...
the logical brain kicks in. All right, I have more questions about
like,
this divorce now then.
I'm like, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Now you've voided any sort of credibility, or it's probably illegal to be doing that. And just for like, okay, let's have a screwball comedy. Oh, now she's banging the lawyer.
Yeah.
And so now when we see Gene Hackman and Barbara Streisand, now it's kind of okay. Because look what she's doing. She's moved on. And she's now saying, okay, well, if you can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
But that's...
Well, and just to show, like, that, you know, he was like, oh, I'm not happy in this marriage, and I haven't been. It's like, how? Like, I mean, the few moments up until that moment, at that time, he was fine. So
yeah.
I think it was just the story, like, the idea was there, but they just didn't portray a lot of those avenues correctly. Yeah. Like, I think we talked about last time, and I can't think of the movie, and I mean, I'll just put it in. The one with Martin Mull, where they wanted to go hot tubbing, and
sure.
You know, he was working the corporate thing and all this stuff. That was done correctly. Like, all those, you could see what his home life was, you know, and it was just like the stoner putting in the hot tub, the precocious kid, and the you know, the wife that was kind of flighty. You know, it was just like, you could see, and then somehow he had to commute 12 hours to work. Remember? He was like riding a bike on a boat. It was like, is he at work yet? Then he decides to go to the orgy. But like, all those weird things paid off. Those little bits of small little information was like, okay, I know what the home life's like. I know by this. But they didn't have to spend time. Both movies are the same length, and this one felt 4 hours long.
This one felt all night long. You know, that's how long you be watching it.
I was excited. I was like, I bet this is gonna fly by. We got great talent. It's 87 minutes.
So
it's gonna.
Comedy.
At one point, I was like, I need a break.
Yeah.
Is there an intermission in this?
I'm glad it wasn't just me, because I was thinking, because you mentioned it was like short, and you know, comedy. You know, these actors.
Yeah.
You think there'd be a lot there to sort of, you know, nibble on, and by the time you really get a sense of, you know, all the different things in it, it's over.
Yeah.
But it just went on and on and on, because I think the narrative was struggling. I was just struggling to find out what's the point. Is he gonna get Barbara Streisand? Well, in the first act, he got her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like she's offered no resistance. The opposite. She's kissing him. She's trying to get him, and he's like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." And then, you know, when he goes over to see her, you know, and the husband is there, you know, and she's like, "You know what? My husband is here." He's like, "I don't care.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Hey, how you doing?" And
that was like probably the best scene though. Like, that felt like relaxed Hackman or something. Like,
oh, he was
like he understood,
super relaxed.
Like he understood that. Like his breakdown moment, like when he goes to the office to grab his stuff and quit, and then just go. I kind of wanted more of that version of him giving up, type of like, fuck it, this is my life now. But it was just that never. Like, I mean, you can't have 1 5-minute scene just sort of, oh, there it is. There's his character.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, I just peppered in a little bit of his sort of detached, you know, him being detached from, you know, his life, or wanting to disengage from his life. You know, he could do that, you know, in a comedic way too, obviously. But I just think that this, you know, there was no struggle. I mean, it's like, oh, will he get he's got her. He's like, if anyone says anything, I'm just gonna say, yeah, we're in a relationship. That's it.
Like, I mean, he was willing to give it all up after a kiss, and it wasn't even, I think, about her. It was just like,
after the kiss,
I hate this marriage. I don't like anything anymore, and it's like, okay.
And it's like, is he 50 in the movie?
They never say he's 50. Gene Hackman was 50 when he made the movie.
Yeah.
Clearly, It's weird because a lot of times we'll see these roles and then it's like, we'll look it up. It's like 35.
Right.
Huh. But like Gene Hackman, I thought was going to be younger, but was 50, but felt like he was closer to 60 in this movie.
I know.
Dennis Quaid's 24, playing 18, seems 35.
Yeah.
Diane Ladd seemed right of age. You know,
Right.
like she seemed fine. Barbara Streisand was 39 when she made it, but there's no age given to her in the movie. But it also alludes that she just sleeps around a lot.
Yeah, it's like Barbara Streisand, that role, it was just like she just wanted to sleep around, and that was what she was about. And, you know, Barbara Streisand being Barbara Streisand and what she's done and accomplished before and after, it's a wonder why she would take a role like that. I mean, as far as being a romantic comedy and stuff like that. $4 million. Money talks.
This would have made sense like if this was her first role. Like, I'm going to get into acting.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like, all right, you're playing this kind of character. But she had already done this. She's won Oscars at this point.
Yeah, she's, I mean...
I think by 81 she had won an Oscar. If not, she was close.
She was close. But yeah, she's great on the screen. She's Barbara Streisand. But the role, I just thought that she was just like, as a sort of sex pot housewife that, you know, would sleep with anyone, you know, and it's like, this is, but there was nothing else to her.
Yeah, it would have been interesting if it was more, although it would have been weird, it was just, all these movies are all weird anyways, like with ages. But if she was just some girl that the son was sleeping with, that he ended up hooking up with. But it was just the fact that it was like, she was married, she's also a cousin.
Right.
Then slept with the son, and then sleeps with Gene Hackman, who at the time thought it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
In the movie. But it was just like, who is this person? You know, I think that's what it was just kind of like, I think because also time, we're looking at it in 2021, it's just sort of like, so she's just some person just sleeping around. That's all it is. There's nothing, it was just such a weird character, and she's good. Anyone else could have made this role work. I don't know if she's the right person for this role.
Yeah.
She was good. Gene Hackman was good. But I think it, like I said, I think this is a lesson in casting.
Yeah, I don't think she was. I don't know. I mean, I didn't want to. I don't know why, but I just didn't want to see Barbara Streisand in that role.
Yeah.
It was like, no, not Barbara Streisand in a role that. I mean, again, she didn't have much to do, but just, you know, very sexually progressive and forward.
Mm-hmm.
But just nothing else going on. To be fair, it's not much else going on with anyone, because it's like, what was Dennis Quaid was the son who still lives at home, freeloads, and just nothing else to him. Gene Hackman, I mean, yeah, he had the job, you know, but it's like a comedy thing where you go, okay, now you're a night manager at one of the stores.
I was totally okay.
That
like,
doesn't happen, but, you know.
It's a weird thing, but as long as you tell me that, I'm okay. Like, it makes zero sense that he would be almost VP, have a weird mental breakdown at work, and go, well, you have to work at a night manager at one of our stores.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
it was that offhanded comment that they mentioned was, you know, seniority is the only reason why he's still working as a night manager. And it was like, I feel like that's not how seniority...
No.
I think now you would have just, especially in the age of everything going on, you would have still kept this job. If it was just a mental break, you would have still had his job.
Yeah. Or, hey, take some time and then come back, or...
Yeah.
But not... Okay, now you're the night guy at, you know, which, you know, someone Dennis Quaid's age would have been doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know.
Well, especially, too, you open up on this corporate building that is gigantic, and it's for the store, corporate offices. But the stores look terrible.
Awful.
And we're just like, what world are we living in right now? But once again, I'm okay with it, because they just presented it to us. Like, it's more of a logical, like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, you can just, you can go along with that. It's just, that's sort of a backdrop and a background and a setting, but what is actually going on in the story? Gene Hackman, having some sort of crisis, and that moment where they demote him touches off this flurry of things that he does to sort of detach from his life. But I just think there needs to be a little more there.
Yeah, you never saw like his sort of downslide. Like, because even when he was working as the night manager or whatever, he was doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like it progressed. Like, it'd be one thing if it was like that lady that came in to rob the store, if that stuff was happening all the time. I thought it was going to take more at the store.
Yeah, me too. The way it opened, yeah.
And that was like a 2-hour chunk of the movie.
And the movie wasn't even 2 hours. I just, now that you're saying that, and maybe, I don't want to say it because Gene Hackman is an incredible actor, but because he is Gene Hackman, and he sort of doesn't take roles because he knows who he is too. Certain roles are good for him and not. I know he rejected the Royal Tenenbaums for a long time before he realized, oh, okay, I think I am right for this role. But it maybe because he's Gene Hackman, I can't really, in the way he's comfortable on screen as that manager, I never felt like he felt a demotion. He felt something in his life. I felt like he was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm walking through life fine.
Yeah.
So, the balls he had to go in and just say, I'm sleeping with your wife, and that's it. I'm taking it away from you, which is a shitty thing to do.
Yeah.
And
but remember, he was a bad guy, so it's okay. The husband was a bad guy.
And then the husband being a bad guy too. It's
just out of nowhere.
I didn't like that either. I was like, well, okay, you're trying to like justify, and I get it because it's
you have to be on their side.
Yeah, right. It's like a shitty thing to do. Okay, I'm going to go take your wife. Okay, make that make sense. Make that be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did she say, "Well, my husband, is a terrible guy. He's an asshole. He beats on me. I got to get out of this marriage." She didn't really say that.
No.
So
she just kept talking about how great he was, and how well he treated her.
Yeah.
Until that last scene when it was like, oh, fuck, I wrote myself into a corner.
Right.
The writer, hold on.
I mean, for, a woman who, and the reality of this movie, who wanted just to sleep with people and, talked about how great her husband was and what he did for her, what is her impetus to sort of leave?
Yeah.
It's like...
It was kind of like all you get was that he was just okay, the husband. Yeah. So she was just sleeping around, but she got everything else she needed from him.
Everything else, yeah.
But then all of a sudden she was like going in hard on Gene Hackman, and I was like, why? Like, it makes sense to sleep with the son. It's just like a disposable relationship you can kind of discount, right. In a way, but I'm trying to justify this weird puzzle they gave us. But right. It's such a bizarre turn for that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the worst thing we've seen.
It's not. It's just I don't know. Many times we were just like, "What is happening? What are we watching? What is going on?" At the center of a romantic comedy love story, you want to be able to root for these two people.
Yeah.
You want it to be, and especially in a comedy, you want it to be easy to root for them. And I guess it's like what the protagonists are those two, and the antagonist is the world. But it's hard to, under the circumstances, root for Gene Hackman and Barbara Streisand, because she's going after him, but like then she's like, no, we can't do it, it's over, it's fine, I'm married and my life is good, and he pushes for it, But why does he push for it?
I think I would have liked more moments of them getting together closer to the end, because there's that moment of him quitting. That's great. Then that moment of him catching his wife sleeping with the lawyer, and the lawyer offers to get coffee, and Gene Hackman, he knows where the coffee cups are. That's amazing. Like, at that point, you could see that he was just sort of like, oh, this has been going on longer than I thought. But more of those moments of his downslide, of him coming home or something, and seeing that, and him just going, he knows where the cop. All right, I'm out. You know, like, his more of his downslide, and then finally him just going, you know, fuck it, I'm just gonna sleep with, you know, this man's wife or something, or we knew he was a bad guy from the beginning. You know, it's like I don't know why that, you know, I don't know why so and so is married to your cousin. I don't know why she's still married to him. He is a dick. You know, like, if we had some of that, and then you just see the downfall, then maybe, you know, like they get together in the end or something, or
because in the beginning at that repast, post funeral, whatever that. With the choir.
That was when I kind of knew we were in a weird, like all of a sudden they're grilling at the wake or something, and then there's a boys choir, and there was just a lot happening.
The boys choir was fighting with the dialogue, and I was like, wait, what is happening? And then the footsteps and the Foley. It was, and he said, you know, well, you know, it takes a lot to maintain my wife, you know, Barbara Streisand, Cheryl. You know, she has all these ideas, and I have to, like, you know, do a lot to keep her, you know, and, you know, he was, I don't know if he said it, but he kind of had it said in like a dickish way or whatever, but still, it seemed like, hey, I'm working hard to make sure she has what she needs.
Right. He seemed like he was the good guy.
Yeah, exactly. So it was like, for when Gene Hackman went over there, and again, she went and, you know, made the chip beef or whatever it was, and tried to seduce him or whatever. He went along with it. He even brought up, oh, aren't you my son's third cousin? And she's like fourth, so it's okay. And he's just like, I don't know.
It's okay, I checked, it's safe. Or something. It's like, why are we even having that? Why does this have to even be part of the storyline?
Yeah, the cousin thing didn't really have to be there.
Yeah, like that would have been something if it was a son storyline. Son, I think that's like your third or fourth cousin. It's my fourth, it's fine. Okay, like you just sort of discount it because it's your dopey son or something. But the fact that they, like, they're having that meal, and, you know, it's like, you know, you're the third cousin or something. You know, I don't want you to sleep with my son anymore. Sleep with me or something.
Right. To sleep with my son, your fourth cousin. Sleep with his dad, me.
Yeah.
Who also, like, through marriage could be considered.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so I'm supposed to be okay with a cousin and, you know, Dennis Quaid sleeping with her, who's married, and then also replace him with his dad, Gene Hackman, who's married, sleeping with her.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know how to feel about this.
It almost seems like they should have... There's so many different paths like this movie could have just taken, where it's like, you know, she's sleeping maybe with both of them, but they don't find out until later. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like you can go down that path. There's so many ways you can make this movie work better. Oh, yeah. But there were just weird choices, like somehow like him writing, oh, it'll be a fourth cousin, that'll be a good joke. Yeah, but does it serve the purpose of the story other than to say it? Like that moment in the restaurant was funny. It's fourth, it's okay, I checked, it's safe. It's funny. But does it serve anything?
Yeah.
It's having a joke but no service to the story.
Right. I still, even with Cheryl's husband being a total ass dick, abusive, whatever, if you made him the terrible, terrible guy. And if it's sort of like she made it known that, hey, I really want to and need to get out of this thing, and he rescues her from something that's abusive.
Yeah.
And we see him and his wife sort of, you see the downfall, the fact that that's been deteriorating for a while. Especially if they both are doing things. I'm not sure if they both are doing things or if like the lawyer thing was a retaliation for something or what it was. But it's still, it's hard for me, it's hard to get into the like, he's married, she's married, they're going to go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
When the married life is pretty good. Mm-hmm. It seemed like it was portrayed as pretty good. So it's like, why do we have to have a story where it's like this? It's only because, it's sort of taboo.
Yeah.
That, these two married people are getting together. So that's part of it, and I get that. But the way it's configured here, it's just hard to
digest.
Yeah, and then you throw in the cousins and not incest, but you just get like, why, and it's just
why?
Yeah, from myself saying that, all through the movie, it's just like, I don't know, but it did come to dick at the end. She came into, what are you doing here?
I choose you. I'm choosing you because that's the right thing. Well, I'm a dick.
Right.
Fine, I'm just go with this guy now. It's like, all right, your motivations are.
It's just, I never felt like, in a lot of these '80s movies, do the romantic comedy because they have really great actors really well, and you're kind of literally rooting for these two to get together, like against all odds, against all obstacles. But in here, I felt like there were just no obstacles.
It's probably good she goes back to her husband and Gene Hackman can figure out his life. Oh, they're back together? Oh, no. Right. I don't care.
It's like, okay. And that's it. Like, I didn't, like, at the end, they get together. I'm like, I don't care. Like, what does that do for him? Because if she said, look, it was a short-lived thing, you and me, what am I doing? I'm going back to my husband. I could see in the realm of, in the reality of this movie, I can see Gene Hackman's character going, oh, all right, I'll just go do my thing then.
Yeah.
Like,
he invents a mirror.
Right. It's like he didn't. I was like, what was the motivation for him to like go after her?
Yeah. There wasn't something she gave him that like gave purpose to his life or something. It was just sort of somebody. It was Barbara Streisand. You're Barbara Streisand.
That maybe what
I should probably be with you.
It's like, I know you're sure, but you're Barbara Streisand.
So my motivate, like that was the director. It's like, what's my motivation to stay? Yeah. It's Barbara Streisand. Oh, okay.
And I love that song she was singing, and then he came over and like, throwaway line. Hey, was that you singing? And then like we just like brushed over that.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, you sound really. I thought that was going to turn into. Oh, wow.
You should really pursue that. I have a loft. I'm going to build you a music studio. Yeah, no.
Nothing. And I was like, okay, now this is where it picks up. Here's where the big song.
The movie always ends up being better in our head as we're painting. It's like, I know what's going to have this is good. This act, it's a salt octane.
Yeah. Exactly. I know where we're going. Now I know, okay, Barbara Streisand.
Cheryl, fourth cousin, I'm on.
Yeah, this is what you have in the movie. This is why the fourth cousin, yes, okay.
I'm all in now.
Yeah.
So I would say 81's been a start.
Yeah, it's
Aces to Franklin Jella.
We've had some movies.
Sadly enough, I'll say Spink's been the best one so far. It wasn't good.
Right.
But Frank was good.
I mean, it had the parts that I think could be reconfigured to make something good. And I think the script needed to be, tweaked a lot, but I think it could.
Yeah.
This one, It's just, you can tweak the script. You can do all the things, all the cliche things of the husband being terrible and his wife not, say Diane Ladd just is not interested in him anymore. And, you saw the domino effect of all the things in his life, sort of. We didn't see that, but crumbling. Right, exactly. Crumbling down. And sort of drives him and her to each other. That's not really what happened. Ace is, I mean,
that was the perfect start to 81, though.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what those 80s movies are. And this feels on par.
This definitely was an 80s movie and felt on par. For sure.
It's just the casting is definitely going to change within the next year.
Yeah.
Like, this movie will exist with a completely different cast. We're gonna get to like 82 or 3 going, seen this before.
Yeah.
And from the guy that wrote Brubaker and Big Trouble in Little China, and I'm watching this going, how?
Yeah. I know, that's, was it the Ricky Schroeder movie?
Earthling?
You've written.
If so, I'll put it in.
Something else, and it was like, or I forget which one. It was like, you did all that, and then.
Yeah, it was like, you built up. This was the next one.
It was like, it may not have been that movie.
Studio. Do we need a Snyder cut? Right. But at 87 minutes, they either left a lot on the cutting room floor, or, this was the best they had.
Yeah.
That was fun. But if you want a physical copy, I'll plug it. Kino Lorber, which is, I think they might just be Kale something or Keto. Yeah, how about this?
I've seen Kino Lorber.
I have, but I forgot what their website is. Website here. If you want to copy, I will say, even though it's not a review of that, I thought their transfer was really good. It looked.
Oh yeah.
It's probably the best that this movie deserved to look, and the fact that they chose this to make this in their library is fun.
Right. Yeah.
It's good. I mean, Barbara Streisand will probably get anything she's in.
Cast, yeah.
And then Dennis Quaid, and then if you want to shovel across your face, get some Big Pete. I would recommend it if you like smoky, but it'll punch you in the face.
It's a big. If you like campfire, if you like to inhale like the grill, sort of smoke intake, then that's
if you felt like campfire wasn't like tarry enough,
if you like tar, this is for you.
This is ash and tar. I guess I was gonna say, I guess no one saw this. It was $15 million to make, $4 million box office. Everyone went to probably go see The Devil and Max Devlin. Because, America's dad, Bill Cosby, was in it.
Absolutely.
With America's uncle, Elliot Gould. I don't know. I like Elliot Gould a lot. Any final thoughts on All Night Long?
Elliot Gould, I'll have after this, I have an Elliot Gould Gene Hackman story.
Oh. Not for you guys, though.
When I was thinking about it, watching the movie. I just think it was miscast, but I just personally have a problem with the narrative. Like, I even with all of those fixes that we had, it's still
clunky.
Yeah, and we've kind of seen. This was not this movie. We kind of seen the abusive dick husband and the wife who's fallen out of love with the husband, and then they sort of like some people come together because they're in situations that they desperately need to be rescued from or get out of. This one was like, oh no, everything is good, but let's just go after each other and hurt the spouses.
Let's just be dicks ourselves.
It's just like
a win,
but it's not. So all in all, I appreciate the cast, but I think Gene Hackman was way too strong to be that character. Because I never felt like he was snowed under. I never felt like he was didn't have a hold on things.
Yeah, Gene Hackman was in control the whole time.
Right.
And things happened around him. But, yeah, I mean, once again, good acting. Looked good. Solid ideas. But I won't be thinking this all night long.
That was...
Yeah, that's about all I got.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
like literally, I think the smoke is getting to me. Thank you for watching Post Apocalyptic Show. Like, follow, subscribe, comment. Did you see All Night Long? Did you like All Night Long?
Yeah.
Do you like smoky whiskey?
Did you not like it?
Yeah. Do you like getting hit in the head with shovels? Do you have any comments about Kino Lorber?
Kino Lorber. Just drop them. You know, we would love to hear them. Love to see them.
Drop them all. All right.
All right.
Until April.
April.
The smoke is hitting me.
April 81.
I don't know.
April 81.
April 81, everyone. Have a good one and see you next week.